This lecture is on graphing linear inequalities by Dr. Archie Earl. These are the steps involved in graphing linear inequalities in the xy plane. First of all, you have to solve the inequality for y. Secondly, you have to graph the corresponding equation by finding 2 points. The third step, you have to graph the solved inequality. The inequality that you solved in step 1, you have to graph that by using the rules below. A, for y greater than or equal to, or y less than or equal to, you have to make the line solid. If you have or equal to on there, that means that y can be equal to that line. That means that y can be equal to that line. So that's why we have a solid line. For y less than, if you solve the inequality and you end up with y less than or y greater than, y less than or y greater than, then you use a dashed line. Part B, if you have greater than or equal to. Greater than means above. Greater than or equal to. The greater than part means above. So you shade above the line. If you have a vertical line, vertical means to the right. You shade to the right. If you have y is less than or y is less than or equal to, less than means below, you shade below the line. If you have a vertical line, less than means to the left, so you would shade to the left. Let's look at an example so that we can see exactly how these steps work. As an example, suppose we want to graph 10x minus 2y is greater than negative 8. First, we have to solve the inequality for y, and I've done that here. To solve this inequality for y, I subtract 10x from both sides of the equation. That gives me negative 2y is greater than negative 10x minus 8. The next thing I have to do is divide both sides by negative 2, and I've done that here. Recall from your previous study of algebra, when you divide or multiply both sides of an inequality by a negative number, you have to reverse the inequality sign. So that's what I've done here. I started out with greater than. Now I have less than in this step because I'm dividing both sides by negative 2, and I have to reverse my inequality sign. And this is the result of my division. When I divide by negative 2, I get y is less than 5x plus 4. This is my inequality solved for y. And this is what I really have to graph. So to graph that, I graph the corresponding equation. To get the corresponding equation, you simply replace your inequality sign with equals to. And that's what I've done here. So the corresponding equation is y equals 5x plus 2. So that's what I want to graph. To graph that, I just find 2 points and draw the line through the 2 points. So you can choose any 2 numbers you want to for x. Substitute those 2 numbers in the equation. Find y, and then graph the points. Now here, I've chosen to use x equals 0 and x equals 1. So I've substituted 0 into the equation for x. I got y equals 5 times 0 plus 4. That would give me 4. So that's my value of y, if x is 0. Next, I substituted 1 into the equation. I got y equals 5 times 1 plus 4. That equals 9. So these are my 2 points, 0, 4, and 1, 9. So I graph the 2 points and draw a line through the 2 points. 0, 4, 0 is for x. That means I don't go any in the x direction. And y is a positive 4. So I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the first point on my line. I look at my next point, 1, 9, x is 1, y is 9. It's a positive 1, so I start at the origin. I go 1 to the right, and it's a positive 9, so I go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's my second point. And then I draw a line through my 2 points. Now, to finish my graph, I have to go back to step 3. Step 3, if you have greater than or less than, you make the line dashed. So after I solved the inequality for y, I had less than. So that means my line has to be dashed. So that's what I've done here. I made my line a dashed line. Next, I look at part B of step 3 to decide whether I shade above the line or below the line. And as indicated here, I have less than. After I solve the equation for y, I have less than. So if you have less than, if you have y is less than, you have to shade below, because less than means below. So as you can see here, I have shaded below the line. I did not shade above the line because I had less than. Less than means below, so I shaded below the line. So this, ladies and gentlemen, would be the graph of this inequality. 10x minus 2y is greater than negative 8. For homework, on page 401, you want to do problems number 1 and number 9, or as directed by your instructor. Your instructor might have told you to do some other problems for homework, so of course you want to do those problems. If you are doing this just for your own self-enrichment, then you can get a textbook, basic algebra textbook, and you can do some examples from that textbook so that you can check your answers in the back of the book. Have a great day. Bye now.